Today's episode of The Mom Game is presented by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is, Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM-certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. I can attest, I got one today. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick.
And we highly recommend that you take that new car over to the nearest Golden Chick. If you go there before September 1st, you can get the sweet heat-inspired hot honey sriracha sauce. Very important we get that right. Hot honey sriracha sauce now through September 1st, coated atop Golden Chick favorites like crispy hand-breaded wings and the very popular Golden Tenders for a fiery flavor experience. So Golden Chick did something very cool for this. They went straight to the source. They asked their loyal brand followers on social media to vote on what sauce they wanted to see. They went to the people. This is the first time they've done something like that. And the followers overwhelmingly selected this new hot honey sriracha as the one that they wanted to see. And Golden Chick answered. The Swahit sauce was crowned the winner. It combines the bold flavors of garlic and red chili peppers with sweet honey, which of course helps balance that spice. Alongside that new sauce flavor, Golden Chick will also debut a first-of-its-kind combo meal. That's the Swahit combo, with 3 delicious wings and 2 100% tenderloin tenders covered in that hot honey sriracha sauce and served with a fresh-baked yeast roll, savory Southern-style side, and 30-ounce beverage. Get all of that and so much more at your nearest Golden Chick. And show us when you do on social media. We love our family meals over at Golden Chick, and the Mom Game loves when you support our sponsors.
And welcome into the Coppola Studios for episode 227 of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She is Julie Dobbs. And if you watched last week, you see that we're wearing the same exact clothes and we look exactly the same. That's because we're re-recording.
Well, no, I was just going to say, we really loved our aesthetic.
We really loved we loved our aesthetic.
So we just
so
thought,
much.
let's do it all over again.
Yes, especially with your preppy bow. So preppy.
I feel like I'm going to watch this. It's going to look really dumb. I thought it looked cute.
It does look cute.
Is it too high? I think Claire Smith's is like a low pony.
Yeah,
that's what she does.
Claire, help us.
Claire,
help Julie.
I can't pull off like a low half pony like she does.
I can't remember the last time I wore a bow. I mean,
I bought all these on Amazon for Anna.
Okay.
And then I slowly started trying them out.
Yeah.
And when she came on, I was like, all right. I just didn't want to do the same old thing with my hair.
Yeah, I think it's fun and you can pull it off. I think if I wore a bow, people would lose their effing minds and be like, what the hell are you doing?
People would lose their effing minds if you wore a bow.
Honestly, people don't give a shit if I wear a bow or not.
People would keep their minds intact.
They would. They don't. Nobody fucking cares if I wear a bow.
I don't know that Emily's hair gets lots of love.
This is true. This is true. Love meaning hate.
So maybe you need a bow.
Maybe I need a bow. It would be a fun experiment.
Can we make this happen by the end of the Rangers season?
On television?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
Okay, or the Mom Game. Just do it for the Mom Game.
Okay, I don't know. If I went, we'll talk about it. But if I showed up to a girls' night with my girlfriends in a bow, I should do that and just tape their reactions.
Yeah, do it.
Because it would be like,
the great bow experiment.
What is happening? That's a fun experiment.
Yes.
Okay.
Start with your girlfriends.
Yes. Yeah, because their reactions are going to be the most priceless because they'll tell me anything. Like, you look like shit. What are you doing? Whatever.
First, start with kids' reaction.
Yes.
Kids and Mike.
Oh, Hattie, she would be so, Mom, what are you wearing? What are you doing?
And then friends'
that
reactions.
That would be fun. Okay.
And then we'll do Rangers. And you're still on Twitter, right?
Great. I
And then we can get
am.
your Twitter reactions.
I've posted like once.
See
in the
how
last
many Karens
year.
write to you about
Oh
your
my
bow.
gosh, it'd be awful. So anyway, that's bow talk.
More Karen talk coming up in a bit.
Okay, yeah, Karen talk coming up in a bit. So we've got two really cool guests coming up in this episode. We've got a mom, Erica. Tell me how to pronounce her last name. Kozman. She's coming on. She is the badass at Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. Also a full-time working mom. She has a really cool story, and it was interesting to learn about Choctaw, who's obviously a huge partner of so many sports teams in our area, and pretty prevalent in these parts. So she's coming up, and then we've got Victoria Elliott, who's Geico office sponsors our Mike flags, and also a sorority sister of mine from Texas Tech. So a couple really cool conversations.
Badass working women.
Absolutely.
Working moms.
They are awesome.
It'll
so
be
we'll
a
have
show that will inspire people. I think.
Yeah. Coming up a little bit later, we'll have both of those ladies on separately. Erica's up first and then Victoria. So we'll get to them in just a little bit. But a couple things we wanted to talk about that we've been trying to talk about for a little while and just haven't had time. So we thought this would be the perfect opportunity.
Yes.
The first of which I have to tell you was inspired by another former guest of ours, Maddie Seeger. So Maddie posted, so I'm always looking for a new show, especially a reality TV show, right? Because I love Vanderpump Rules, I love Summer House, I love Southern Charm. Those are my main three. Wow. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills a little bit, but those three are my main ones. Well, now they're all on hiatus, whatever. They're not filming. They're not putting out shows.
They've all hooked up with each other.
Who knows what's happening. But anyway, so I kind of got, sad because I didn't have any smut reality TV to basically make me feel normal, which is why I watch reality TV, is because I watch them and I'm like, you're a bigger train wreck than me. This makes me feel really good about myself.
Yeah.
So Maddie posted a little Instagram story that like her and Corey together were watching Love Island. And Love Island is being hosted this season by Ariana Madix, who was in the whole Scandival thing and all that kind of stuff. So I was very familiar with her.
That was such a big thing.
Yeah, so I was very familiar with her from Vanderpump Rules. So I was like, okay,
she's hosting it?
She's hosting it. She has a very minimal part in it, pretty much. They have a narrator who's like a comedian from somewhere, and he's hilarious, like his commentary. But he's like just a voiceover. He's like voice of God talking. And then is the one doing like the challenges and the fire pit where they recouple and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, Maddie posted this one night that like Corey's so into it, but they wait on each other to watch the episode together if he's on the road or whatever. So she posted about this. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. So I think I messaged her and was like, okay, is it good? She's like, it's so good. And I was like, okay, I need a reality TV fix. So she turned me on to it. It is, it's the biggest train wreck ever. And I get so excited. I can't stop watching it. Yes. And now
you like it
and it's
more
almost
than
like
those others?
I don't know. It's a different kind. So this one is like the episodes hit like a couple days after they shoot them. So like just a few days ago, they were like inspired by the 4th of July. We are going to have a food eating contest or something. So it's pretty current. They put out episodes like every day of the week except for Monday. So I get except for Wednesday. So I get like kind of sad. I'm like, oh, there's no show on Wednesday.
It's like Big Brother had a baby with The Bachelor in Paradise and then added more stuff to
it. But they don't have, the only thing different as far as the Big Brother thing is they don't have, or maybe they do, maybe they have live cameras at all times you can tap into, but like Big Brother was like, there was very little editing.
And kind of like
when they live.
The Mole also.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a cluster of all of them.
It's crazy. And it's so wheels off, and you couple up with people. And from the beginning, they're like, once you pick a couple, you're sleeping in the same bed.
Oh.
Like, that's the way they ask each other, like, do you want to share a bed? And so you have to couple up if you want to be safe. And so, like, to be, from being like
eliminated, kicked off the island.
And that's not the right word. Whatever.
Exiled
from the island. Thank you for that. So they're not, but they're not in separate rooms. They're all in beds lined up. It's so wheels off. I'm like, this is insanity.
And then they can flip around.
And then they can flip and do, and then sometimes the girls make the choice, and then sometimes the boys make the choice, and then they insert bombshells into the scenario where you'll have like 4 new dudes come in, and then just now, like all the dudes went to Casa Amor and they were tempted by these other girls, and they had to decide if they were going to go back to the villa with these new girls or go back. It's insanity.
Well, I loved
But-
Bachelor in Paradise back in the day.
I think you would like this.
Yeah.
So that right now is, and I always love to hear like people's guilty pleasures. Like, and
Yeah.
it's also too, like we've talked about a million times, it's hard to turn my mind off. And so this for me is like just this perfect little hour a night where I just turn my mind off and I just watch these train wrecks happen right in front of my eyes. And I'm like, this is so good. So Love Island USA is my guilty pleasure.
Okay, Emily
Thank
is.
you to Maddie Seeger. And I haven't seen Corey since I started this. I cannot wait. And I don't know if Corey, if I should probably ask Maddie, like, is it okay if I say
Yeah,
something
before
to
you
him?
just bomb him with
Before
Love
he's
Island
like,
talk.
trying to like work on his swing mechanics. And I'm like, let's talk about Kaylor. Oh my gosh. She lost it. And what about Serena? I mean,
That's one of those things where he'll either look at you like you have 5 heads, or he'll be like, "Oh my God, I know Emily," and it'll be like
Or
a
he'll,
total
like-
bonding moment.
he'll like light
but
up
it's a
and be
big
like,
risk.
I know, can you believe Rob? What about Aaron? And I mean, it's like, whatever. But so I'm still waiting for that experiment, but
Yeah.
I probably should clear it with Maddie. Like, do you think this is a safe space for me to like
He'll probably die laughing and be like, "Yeah, go for it. Tell me how he reacts."
to hit Corey up at work pregame, like ask him about Love Island USA?
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
So
you could
anyway.
do Rangers. What are your Rangers
likely.
most likely to work in some Love Island questions, like most likely to win on Love Island?
So you know what
Most
I
likely
might
to
do?
be chosen.
Like, or I could even do like, I don't even know if a lot of these guys know about it. I could do which Ranger is most likely to watch Love Island.
Yeah, there you go.
And see what anybody says.
Yeah.
See if anyone picks Corey.
And then that's
or
how
maybe they probably know because they spend so much time
that's
with
how
it.
you
But
can
it
do
is,
your groundwork, and then you'll know who to chat Love Island with.
yes, it's hilarious. So anyway,
Yes.
Love Island, my guilty pleasure. Julie, what's yours?
Oh, that's a lot. That's a big one.
I know.
Um,
That's why I did tell you last night to think about it.
Yeah, you did. And I don't watch TV. So what I do watch is Instagram videos.
Yes, you do.
Kelly's been calling me like Instagram queen. And I'm like, there's a balance. Like, I'll stay up late and look at Instagram, but it's also because there's stuff on my brain that I can't stop thinking about. And I look at Instagram to not think about them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I end
Same
up.
thing what I do with Love Island. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if I did that, it'd be better because it's not scrolling and you're not on your phone, which is also closely related to the things that you need to do. But I end up on my phone, and I've talked about it, but my guilty pleasure is freaking Tavis videos because they're just still going so strong. And so she just finished up her shows in Amsterdam. Before that, she was in London, and those were big weekends for the Tavis stans like me because he showed up at both.
What did you call yourself?
A Tavis stan?
What? Wait, what? A Tavis Stan? Is it all one word?
No. Have
Are
you
you-
heard people say stan?
No. What is this?
It's like, I stan this relationship, or you haven't heard this?
S-A-
How have your kids not taught you this?
STAN?
Yeah,
You didn't know what Riz was. I'm not trying to hear
that's
you.
true.
A Tavis Stan.
Yeah, like we
STAN.
hopefully have some mom game stans.
Stans?
People who ship our show. I ship them so hard.
You ship them.
Can they ship our show if it's not technically a relationship?
Yeah.
Sure. We're just making shit up. at
Yeah,
this
we're
point.
just, yeah.
A
Ship
Tavis
stan.
Stan.
Yeah, I'm a Tavis stan.
Okay.
So I
Is it
stan-
like
I
a
have no
generic
idea why it's
name?
called that. That's just
I
what
feel
people
like
say.
it's like a play on like standing by this relationship, maybe.
I think it's something like that. Like, I
I'm gonna
stand
Urban
with them, I
Dictionary
stand for
Okay,
them, but
it's just STAN.
yeah.
Okay. So you're a Tavis Stan.
I'm a
Cool.
Make fun of me, Love Island girl.
Right. Fair point. Fair point.
You can't get all
Touche.
geek out over Love Island and then
Touche.
try to too cool
I
me.
can't- I'm gonna take the
for
high road on
Tavis.
here. It's true. Okay, so tell me. and
Because
you
mine's actually real. These are real
Okay,
people.
so a
Well, so are
stan-
they.
They're just
Okay, a stan-
shows.
This is stupid. It's a mix of a stalker and a fan.
Okay. Now
Oh.
now we've hit the bullseye.
So yeah, no,
Okay,
she's
yeah.
straight on
We
this. She's
have hit the
definitely a
bullseye.
Taylor.
I'm a
stalker and a
total,
fan.
I'm a
You are.
total stan.
You're a Stan. All right.
I am a Tavis stan.
Yes,
And
but-
I am not ashamed.
No, you're not. And I appreciate that about you.
No,
love
stand by your
Tavis.
yeah.
So she played like 3 sold out shows at Wembley in London.
Yeah.
And he came to those shows, and I think it was Argentina where he surprised her. She was like in the middle of a singing August and looked up and like saw him in the VIP tent. Like she might have known he was coming, but didn't know he was like had shown up at that
Right.
show. It was just so cute seeing them. And then the last night in Amsterdam, he was there and he brought Patrick and Brittany Mahomes with him. Jason Kelsey was in London, which was so fun, and Kylie, because the big Taylor Tavis stans have been really wanting both Kelsey brothers to go to a show, and Kylie. We all love Kylie.
Okay, wait. Okay. This is amazing.
Yeah, and so that happened, and it was amazing. And like Paul McCartney was there, like Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis. It was like all the big celebs are all Tavis stans. Julia Roberts was at the Amsterdam show. Maybe getting a little too handsy with Travis. That was the big headline because there was
Julia
a video.
Roberts was?
There was a video of her like, and she's obviously just like probably had a few glasses of wine and like so happy for them, but she was
Yeah.
like hands on his chest, like kind of like doing this. But it's just how drunk 60-year-old women get.
Yeah, I know.
All of our moms.
Well, yeah, I know a drunk 46-year-old woman get. I'm just kidding.
You do some heavy petting after a
There's-
few.
Mike wishes. We got to be all faculties if we're gonna fire on those cylinders. There's
Right. Okay. So not after a few. I see.
I don't need a few to get me loose, Julie.
Well, that's good, I guess. Oh.
Okay, back to Taylor
So,
Tavis.
Tavis.
Excuse me.
So it was just a big couple of weekends for us, Tavis stands. And in Amsterdam, because she does 2 surprise songs for each concert. And so that's like on their acoustic set, one's piano, one's guitar. And on the piano, she basically did a mashup of 3 songs that were like all Travis coded, if you will. And she basically serenaded him. And he was like way up high in his seats. But the video that really had me gushing, and we were even texting about on our mom game thread with Adam, and he said he cried, not just me, was her like basically singing these ballads to him, including a snippet of the song that she wrote for him, So High School, that she wrote about him, in the blink of a crinkling eye, because his eyes crinkle when he smiles.
Oh, so cute.
Everything has changed, so her life has changed, blah, blah, blah. He cried. And so there's like all these videos that went viral of him watching her with like a tear, and then Brittany Mahomes kind of walks over to like make sure he's okay. So it was just really cute. He's just a big beefy NFL guy, and he's sitting there watching his girlfriend, who's the biggest pop star in the world, one of the most famous people in the world, maybe the most famous person in the world, singing him, a song
serenading
that's
him in front of like hundreds of thousands of people.
Yes, in Amsterdam. And so that's the video that I guess has been my latest guilty pleasure. And I'll just watch all, once you watch a few, your Instagram feeds you all
Yes.
of the things. So
Yeah. Well, I just want to go on record in supporting you as a Tavis stan.
thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I know, and I do. I love them too. I
Yeah.
really hope they last and have babies.
They
And
will. I think they will. There's some people that say they might be secretly engaged,
I
just
know.
because the way they've been acting.
I'm worried about the Tavis stands if they don't end up together.
Oh.
More worried about him because he will suffer the wrath. Of,
Yeah, but
yeah.
he's like head over heels. It would have to be
It
her
does
dumping
seem
him.
to be.
The only like weird vibe I ever get is that she might be almost like, you're a little much.
Really.
Like, just because she's used to like just kind of,
Yeah, nonchalant.
yeah, and like a little bit more like
He's
a-holy
very-
types.
yeah,
And he's
he's
just open
super-
with his love for her, which is why
he's-
people are so excited.
Socialant.
He's,
very extra chalant.
yes, he's extra. He likes being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Like, but that's kind of what she needs. She's always gonna be in the spotlight. Whoever she's dating is
Yeah,
gonna be in the
they gotta be
spotlight. So
okay
you
with it.
better like it.
That
But
is
yeah,
awesome.
I think they're the real deal. I think they're in game.
I love it. Oh,
It's one of our songs too.
first string. I know that one. Okay, we've been trying to get to this for weeks. Before we get to our guests, we've got a quick hit. Karen's Corner.
Yes, and it can be a quick hit because some of them.
But I just am dying to know because I've had this list of things
Yeah.
for weeks that you kept
Where's
not
my
told me
list?
about,
Oh, here
but
we
you've
go.
teased, and I've had the list, but I don't know the story behind any of them.
Okay.
So let's go.
Uh,
Rapid fire. Karen's Corner, starting with Sonic.
okay, Karen's Corner. This is a new segment that we're going to do if we have things that we want to Karen about, that we want to bitch about. It's kind of like what's in your craw, whatever. Karen's Corner with 2 Ks. Sonic. So I scratched up the side of my car. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It's not terrible. I think I can hopefully buff it out with some toothpaste. I heard
What?
you can do that. I saw a lady doing that on our street the other day.
Okay.
You can buff out scratches with toothpaste, apparently.
Well,
Hoping it might
please
come
try
out.
that and report back.
I will.
Okay.
I'll do it on our Mom Game socials. I'll let everybody know if it works.
Yes.
But okay, so the freaking drive-in things at Sonic, not the drive-through, but
Okay.
the drive-ins. I was trying one day. I had gone to the nursery with Anna to pick out some flowers, and it was really hot. And so I thought I could use a mermaid water, and she could use whatever slushy. And so I pull into the little stall in my big expedition
Okay.
that I'm still kind of trying to get used to. But I pull into the stall knowing that this is going to be a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
But my thought process was, I'm trying to support, this is dumb, I was trying to support Sonic's aesthetic. The whole Sonic aura, not aesthetic, I just want to use that word, but their whole aura of going into the drive-in stall. That's their thing. There's
Okay.
also a drive-through, which is awkward. I don't know why they have a drive-through and
I
a
want-
drive-in stall.
You want the stall.
I wanted to do the stall to be like an original Sonic person.
Did you ask him to bring the tray out with the hooks on so you could put it on the window and eat from there? Remember
No.
those?
Yeah, and the roller skates.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's kind of fun because you don't get to do that very often. So I
Okay.
pull into the stall knowing like, oh shit, this is a tight squeeze. Pull in there, we have our drinks, we have a grand old time, and then I'm getting ready to pull out, and I'm like, shit. Like I am so tight in this stall. I'm barely gonna be able to get out without scratching my car. I got out, I smashed in my mirror because I knew that would be the first thing to go. So I was like, I think if I smash in my mirror, I can get out. So I smash in the mirror. I'm just with Anna. Like she can't help me. I don't have anyone to like watch.
Get out and like
Yeah,
direct you
do the thing.
like a air traffic control person.
Yes. And so I start backing out and I realize like this is not gonna like I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna hit this Sonic sign. But I have to get out. Like I don't want to sit here for the rest of my life. I don't know what to
rest of
do.
my life.
Like and there's no room to like pull up and readjust and re-angle. I'm like, I just gotta like see what happens. Like, I gotta get out of here. Hope for the best.
Okay.
It's like pause. What would you do?
Yeah.
What would you
I do? I don't know. I don't want to stay there for the rest of my life either. But I don't know. I may have called Sonic and asked him to come outside and help me get out.
I think that's what I should have done in retrospect.
Okay.
I was like, press the button and been like, can you
Yeah.
help me? The one by my house. Okay, so I back out and sure enough, scratched my car.
Okay.
And I hear it and I'm like, it's like, "Eh," and I'm like,
and
oh
then
no.
you're like-
And I'm like, please just be like something minor. And it's not. It's like a big scratch on my side door. And so I guess in the heat of the moment, Karen'd. I stopped. I pulled into the hut,
Okay.
Sonic hut. And I pulled in and I thought, I got to go talk to somebody. Because I looked at the signs all around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, all dented in from people doing the same thing. Because they're not wide enough.
So what?
Everybody's been hitting the signs.
Okay.
So I walk in and I'm like, I press the button. I'm like, is there a manager I can speak to? And she's like, yeah. So, manager comes out. I'm like, Humpty Dumpty looking guy. Old. And he walks out. Poor guy. He didn't deserve to be Karen'd at. But I needed to tell somebody. I was like, okay, I just scratched the whole side of my car. And it could have been operator error partly, but also I looked at the signs and like this has continued to happen. Obviously, on all of these signs, you would think you guys could put a sign up or something for like large cars not to pull in
oversized
here.
vehicles
Or like,
designated spaces.
just give
for
a warning.
for the big mamas.
Yes, like maybe don't pull in here if you have a giant car. And he was just like, all of the Sonics are built with the same dimensions. They're all built this way. You could have just gone through the drive-through. And that was his answer to me. And then I said, but look, you can see all these other signs have had the same thing happen. A lot of people are doing this. And he's like, yeah, I should have called the cops on all of them because they're messing with our stuff and driving off. The guy, so he was basically saying like he
sick
could have
burn.
maybe called the cops on me or something as I'm trying to tell him that I'm pissed because Sonic scratched my freaking car.
He turned it around on you.
He turned it around on me. So I was like livid. I was like, I just had a full on Karen moment, like trying to talk to the manager. And I left being like, I think I said something to him like, this won't be the end of me.
Oh. You heard her.
Yeah. I was like,
And you haven't done shit since then.
yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't done shit but drive around with a scratched car and talk about it and put it on my list of things to talk to you about. I haven't done shit.
But do you feel
But I
better?
have encountered other people that have done the same thing.
Really?
This is a thing.
Yeah.
So I do not stand Sonic anymore.
Ooh.
We tried to get them
We
on board.
did.
We even posted about them and
We did.
crickets.
So many crickets. They don't care about their
I'm
customers.
anti-Sonic.
Okay,
Ooh.
y'all, you can't say that. I'm like a Sonic connoisseur. I have been since I was like 6.
Well, I'm saying it, Ash.
Yeah.
So
saying it.
you can't hate on Sonic that bad. They are all the same, and you just can't take it you can't take it tight. You got to go wide on it, and pull back out when you pull it.
Well, I could do all the things. I'm
drove
sure
a-
different.
I drove a
It's
Hummer.
too late now.
I drove a Hummer for over a decade.
That's unfortunate, Julie.
Yeah,
Really
so
sad.
now I'm just going to go to Golden Chick and get all of my
Absolutely.
drinks because
There
they have
you go.
delicious
Gold-
drinks there.
Gold-
and
they have
food.
My mom is on Golden Chick now instead of going to Sonic.
They have
Nice.
really good ice, and half tea is just. like
And I
that.
bet if you did have an
Woken me up.
accident or something, they would at least be nice to
they would
you.
at least be nice to you.
Yes.
And listen, they might not do anything, but they would
So-
be nice.
Your challenge is to wear a bow. My challenge is to see if I can call up corporate and maybe even get
Sonic
somewhere. What if
corporate.
I did?
You won't. Don't be real.
You don't think
Don't be
so?
ridiculous.
I'm just gonna have to pay for this scratch.
Yeah,
That was my Karen's Corner Sonic.
Okay, what else? You got water on there? Just water. You're going Karen on water?
This one maybe a little too Karen. Maybe it's too embarrassing.
No.
But like two places lately in this 100-degree weather have checked my bag for drinks as I enter and pulled out water. Made me pour out water.
Stop it.
Like a public pool type place.
Stop.
Made me took my water bottle. I was there with my kids because they want you to buy it there.
Well, that's dumb.
Isn't that
it's one
dumb?
thing if you're bringing a case.
Right.
For fuck's sake, what's wrong with
100
people?
degrees outside,
Yeah.
and you're gonna check bags for water.
That's ridiculous.
That's why water's in the Karen's
Okay,
Corner.
that's ridiculous.
Water basketball hoop is
Yeah, what's that
in
about?
the Karen's Corner, and this one's a quick one too. But it's just basically the laziness of manufacturers and how you can go somewhere. So for Ryder's birthday, we wanted to get him a water basketball hoop to go by the pool.
Okay.
Drove all the way to Shields, which is not close to us.
No.
I sent Kelly. It was one of the things on his task list. Was like,
Okay.
figure this out. Go buy this because it's far away. I don't have time to go do it, but I picked out the present for you. So he goes and he does it, and he picks out the one last water basketball hoop. We get it back. We open it up for Ryder's birthday. I get a little momentum in Kelly to where he's like, I'm gonna go put it up right now.
All right. Here we
Ryder's
go.
all excited. His friends were over. We were gonna go play water basketball. Goes to put the pole thing in the base thing. There's no hole in the base.
No.
It's just a closed up thing. Yeah. And then I try to call, I'm like, well, I'm going to do something about this right now because I don't want this to just be a thing that sits forever. Where I'm really pissed because this is Ryder's birthday thing. And then it's like, they don't speak English very well and they don't care. And
So you
email.
called the company that made the basketball.
Yeah, I
hoop.
called the company that
Did
made
you
the
call
basketball
Shields?
hoop. I called
Is it
Shields.
Shields?
Shields.
Shields.
Yeah.
called
When I
them?
called the thing on the box and I got nowhere with them and they sent me an email put this. They wanted a number that didn't exist on the box. I was telling them this number doesn't exist that you're asking for. No, it's right there. No, it's not right there. And they're like, well, we need this number. And I'm like, I don't have this number. It was a terrible experience. So then I tried Shields and they said, we'll exchange it for you, but you have to bring it back.
Oh, such a whip.
45 minutes away.
I know.
So guess what? I had Kelly put it in the back of the car, so it's at least out of the house because it was pissing me off every time I saw it.
Yeah.
And now it's riding around with us everywhere.
Well, and then maybe sometime if you're closer to there, you're like,
Yes.
okay, now's the
Yes.
time to go.
But just the point that you can package and ship and send something
Yeah.
like that, and then
know.
they sell it. That was my water basketball hoop,
Okay.
Karen.
What else we got?
So
So we
I feel
had
like I'm a old cranky old
Sonic.
lady.
water basketball. There was a fourth one.
Tennis lady.
Tennis ladies. Oh, I can't wait to hear where this one's gonna go.
It might be a longer one, but I can do it short. Long story short, I switched tennis teams, which is a pretty big deal.
Okay. 'Cause you're really good at tennis.
I'm used to be better. I'm still pretty good, but I am not as good as I used to be. Because I haven't been playing as much because I did that whole radio stuff for a while. But one of the reasons I'm moving down levels is because the ladies at the high level are terrible to deal with. And I'm not talking about my teammates. I loved my team, but I did 2 USTA matches at 4.0 level, and
Way too serious.
way too serious. And I mean, if you say something to be friendly, they use it against you. So, you know how I was going through stuff with my eyes, like with LASIK and all that, and I was serving. I have 2 quick examples. This is the thing these mean tennis ladies do. I mentioned that I was working on my serve because I hadn't played in a while or whatever, and my partner at the time, who plays all the time, was like, you shouldn't have said that. They're going to come after you now when you serve. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, just wait. Well, sure enough, Debbie, or whatever her name was, across from me is at the net, and as I'm tossing to serve, she starts doing this with her hands every time to distract me because she knew that I was working on my serve and that was my weak spot. Yeah. And so I finally called her out at the end of it. I was like, what are you doing? She was like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I was like, you're moving your arms up and down every time I toss. And I feel like you only started doing that once I mentioned that I was working on my serve and having some problems with it. She's like, no. I think it's just hot outside.
Oh my gosh.
That was one. And then the other one, also with my toss and my serve, in the LASIK, I mentioned to my partner, I was like, because my toss was off, and I was like, it's like, because I was tossing right in the sun, and I was like, it's hard, it's hurting my eyes a little bit. I just had this LASIK surgery, because this was like 1 week after.
Yeah.
And I was kind of chatting with her about it, and they were listening on the other side. Well, next thing you know, that lady's lobbing me up in the air just so I have to look in the sun again.
Stop it.
So, moral of the story is I don't want to play that level of tennis anymore because I can't help but make comments sometimes that are friendly and nice or just chatty.
And it's just like, what are we doing? I mean, and I guess if that's your thing and that you've got your competitive juices flowing. And I guess, too, the way I looked at tennis when I played, I got kicked off 2 tennis teams, by the way. Not kicked off, but like I would be on a team and then I'd play, a couple matches, and the coach would yell at me for checking my phone during drills. And I was like, I'm paying you to be here. And this is 2-5 country club tennis. Like, what are we doing? Like, I have 8 jobs. I'm going to check my phone. Like, deal with it. So we would play a couple matches, and then I would be like, oh, I wonder when tennis starts back up. And then I'd see, like, on social media, like, first match win.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
Oh, okay. Well,
they took you off the group chat.
They took me off the group chat twice. I got taken off the group chat twice.
Oh, Em.
So I'm like, okay, womp womp. But I really did.
No one just manned up and told you what was happening?
No, just there. Then I would see him, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And they're like, "Oh, we must have."
Oh my God, the tennis lady team drama. It's a lot.
Yes, but I'm like, and I think because I had just become so comfortable with sucking at tennis, that I just didn't. I mean, not that I didn't care. I had fun. I loved it. It was good exercise, meet new people, but I never got really competitive with it because I'm not good enough to be competitive. You know, when you know that like you suck
it takes
at
a lot of
something,
time. And
if you suck at something, you can't expect to win. You can't expect to do really well when you are not good. And like I've told my kids, you don't put in the work, you're not going to get better. I wasn't really putting in a whole lot of work, so I wasn't getting any better. So I was totally fine with sucking at tennis. Apparently my teammates were not fine with me sucking at tennis. But yeah, I get it that's where some women, they get their, not just women, but they get their competitive juices flowing.
Yes.
But like, yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah.
That's a little much.
Like,
Well, good for you.
Her eyes are hurting. I'm going to lob it. So she has to look back in the sun.
Well, I'm glad you're moving down.
Yes. Moving on down.
Yeah. Moving on down.
Moving on down.
I always said when I played, I was like, I just want to be the best 2-5 tennis player to ever play the game. Never want to move up. I mean, I think is there a 2.0? I don't think they even do.
I feel like most people start at 2.5.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything lower. If there was something lower, that's where I would be.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I'm sorry, Julie. That sucks. And I'm glad you're moving on down.
Yeah, thank you.
Screw those competitive tennis ladies.
In Karen's Corner today, Sonic, water, tennis ladies, water, basketball, hoop.
Okay, I need to start making my list.
Yes.
Girl, I've got some.
I know you do.
Okay, I just don't have them.
And if y'all have Karen's Corner
give us ideas.
You want to share or
tweet
us yours and we can share them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, time for our 2 very special guests. And these special guests are brought to us by our friends at Tylock George Eye Care. Are you tired of wearing glasses just like Julie and I were? Custom lens replacement from Tylock George is one of the many life-changing options from these trusted ophthalmology experts. I don't know where I was going with that. I think I got thrown off by ophthalmology experts. So you can see your world clearly, from both long distance and up close. That means no more readers. That's with the custom lens replacement. That's what I got. I got one eye, another eye on the way. Julie got the LASIK.
Yep.
Lens replacement from Tylock George can be life-changing, and they offer 24 months of interest-free financing with approved credit. So if you have questions about if you're a candidate for LASIK, like Julie was, or the lens replacement, like I was, schedule your appointment today. Free consultation, tylock.com/TMG if you want to take advantage of that online, or you can call Tylock George directly and mention the mom game. You'll get a special discount that way. And we've talked about, the unfortunate circumstances that happened right after our surgeries, is that the surgeon who performed ours died suddenly after that. And so it's been a little bit of they've been in flux a little bit over the last several weeks, and they're finally back up and running, and everything's, a little bit more back to normal. They have a new surgeon, Dr. Taj Nasser, who will be doing the lens replacement on my second eye. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. So it's been a little bit of a rough patch for Tylock, but they take it very seriously as far as the level of care that they're offering. They wanted to make sure they were doing right by their patients and making sure that everything was good to go. But they are back up and running and ready to take your calls, schedule your appointments to see if you are a candidate for LASIK or contact lens replacement. Again, that is tylock.com/TMG, or if you call, tell them the mom game sent you.
We are so excited now to be joined by Erica Kozmond here on the Mom Game. Erica is the Senior Director of Gaming Brand and Partnerships at Choctaw Casino. What a huge title. Tell us all about that, I guess, and how you got to that spot with Choctaw.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So I've been in gaming, I don't want to say, but coming up 20 years in the next year or so. So I've been in tribal gaming my whole life. I've worked in a few big tribes in Oklahoma, and I have loved gaming. Once you get in casinos, it's kind of like sports. Like, you don't want to get out of it because it's like addicting, and there's so many fun things to do, and there's so many different things to learn.
You get used to those noises. And
the ding, 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 ding. I've been off the casino floor for a long time, but I give a lot of props to the people that do that work, because it's a 24/7, all holidays, all, just like sports. Everything is nonstop. There's never a day off. There's always something new happening. But I started my career doing drawings, like the drawings in the big buckets, like the promo drawings back before they even had virtual drawings. So I was a promo person and did some entertainment stuff in the entertainment space, concert space. And then I kind of just worked my way through doing analytics and direct mail and every single thing that a casino marketing person does, I've pretty much touched. And then when I got to Choctaw almost 8 years ago, they were like, we don't have a name problem. We don't have a promo problem. We have a brand problem. We need you to fix our brand problem. So I got to really focus in on what is the brand problem. So, the gradient you see, which is like neon in the market, we got to develop that. We got to start a new agency partnership. And really we got to delve into all of the sports partnerships. They only had one or two, and pretty small ones, back when we started, what our vision was to get to Choctaw where it is today. And so now we have over 25 partnerships, and so I oversee the brand in all of those partnerships and a lot of our influencer management program. It's really
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I know. I'm like, I like to gamble.
Yeah. Well, that's what we like to
Have
hear.
me out to Choctaw.
That's what we like to hear.
She really likes to
I
gamble.
actually helped build Choctaw.
Good.
If we pull the curtain back a little bit, I was making that drive north of the border before I had kids. I feel like I contributed.
Sorry, we didn't name the new tower Emily.
I feel like I contribute. I at least kept the lights on for a couple months there for a while. But so how do you get started? What did you marketing major in college?
I was
Where'd you go to school?
I went to a small school, a Catholic college in Oklahoma, in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And funny enough, my major was PR because I was raised in a super small town in Arkansas. And back when I was growing up, you didn't really see the jobs we have, right? Everyone was a farmer, a nurse, or a pharmacist, or a chiropractor. And I was like, well, I always knew. I remember in kindergarten, planning a wedding. For a mock wedding for my friends in kindergarten, and bossing everyone around
It's
essentially.
in your blood.
Yeah, and so I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew what it looked like. And so I got a PR degree because that was just like the easiest thing to say and do
Yeah.
and go get. But I'm terrible at PR. I'm terrible at PR. I need PR people to help me
Yes.
because I just say whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, don't say that.
Same. So another question. This might not be appropriate, but that's kind of what I do. Are you of Indian descent?
I'm not Native.
Okay.
I'm not Native American.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah. Native
Indian-
American
okay.
is, I don't think anybody really gets offended, but like the proper term is
Native American. Okay. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
that's fine. I love sharing about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
No,
please.
but I don't. I'm not Native. I'm actually adopted, so I did like the 23andMe, just like hoping. I was like, oh God, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
maybe,
Native.
yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't. And my family's not, but I'm endeared to tribal people.
Yeah.
I've worked with them now for 20 years, and I have a super like soft spot and love for like not only them but their culture, their history, their art. Like I love their art. Like there's so many like Native American artists that are just doing things for Ralph Lauren and Cutting Edge, and
Yeah.
putting art in the Met, and doing things that like are first of its kind for their tribes. And so
And it
that's really
seems like-
putting them on the map.
And it seems like there's so much that they hold so tight
Yeah.
to tradition.
Yeah, it's not a job. It's a way of life. It's a culture. It's truly a language. And that's I guess that's a little bit of the difference in working for a tribe than working for, a corporate big gaming brand. Those go to, your top 100, your shareholders, they're buying yachts and planes, and
Yeah.
like our money, our tribal work, everything we do for the casino is going back to the tribal people inside the reservation. So all of the money we have, it's not going back to a shareholder group. It's not going back, there's not
Yeah.
people that are, just, vacationing in St. Bart's all summer. Like they're, building communities and playgrounds and fire stations and things like that. So it's really rewarding to see like the money that casinos do make just go back into the community and like
And preserving their culture
getting
and like
education and all those
Yeah,
things. So it's really cool.
yeah. Okay, and you're a mom too.
I am a mom.
So how does that play into all of this? Because it's
Yeah.
it's
Well,
a big
yeah.
job to juggle with or without kids, and then you throw some kids into the mix.
Yeah. I don't have any work-life balance. I just say I have a work-life flow. Like everything just flows
Yeah.
in and out of each other. My son and my daughters have, my son and daughter have been to more sporting events and commercial shoots and activations, and they don't know any different because I've just been, I've never had a career change. They've just been incorporated into it. And so they are just like, okay, this is
Yeah.
what mom does. Mom's going to be gone.
How old are your kids?
My daughter is 11 and going into 6th grade,
Okay.
and my son is 6 going into 1st grade.
Okay. And they're at the age where like the 11-year-old especially, where I'm sure they think things are cool. Like
No, I wish she did.
No.
No, I wish she did. She's a
okay.
super introvert.
Okay.
So she could just care. I mean, I just told my husband the other night, like, how did I birth her? Because we could not be more separate. Like, I'm like, how did she come from me?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and so that's a whole learning curve, right? When someone's like completely opposite of you, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
I'm like, oh, you don't like to talk to people.
right.
Oh, well, that's odd.
yeah.
You're like, come with me to all these
Yeah.
events.
No, but my son would go, he would go across the country with me. But my daughter's just like, and I'd say, like, oh, do you want to go to, a baseball game or, and she's like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's not, no.
She
Please.
just wants
She's
to
like,
chill.
please don't take me to
Yeah.
that.
Please don't make me go.
Please don't make me go.
At least you have one of them that'll go along
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just funny. That whole kid thing's, the whole other layer of working and
Right.
Yeah.
incorporating that.
Yeah.
So how do all like where are you involved in, like you said, growing those partnerships, especially in the sports front?
Yeah.
Like how did that take place? Was that your vision, or was that, I mean, because it
Yeah.
seems like y'all are everywhere.
Thank
now.
you.
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's what we want to see and
Yeah.
hear, and that's our goal. Is like we want to, like, no matter what your interest is, we want to touch you somehow.
Yeah.
That's like
Well,
no
and-
matter what the interest is, we want to be touching you somehow to know that we are a place for people like you to come and enjoy.
And in quick side note, because I feel like it goes along exactly with what you said. So my girlfriend Lisa, who I was just talking about, who's coming on our show in a couple weeks, she has a husband who's a huge gambler, and they ended up going. I think they were coming back through Missouri or something, and they stopped at Choctaw, and not knowing like. Jeff's been going there for, forever or whatever, but then they all went as a family. And then Sydney, their youngest, their daughter, was like, can I have my birthday party here?
Yeah.
Like, it's not
My
just
kids want to.
Yeah.
it's not just
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
casino. It's like a legitimate,
Family friendly destination.
Yeah.
Like that is one of our goals, is to make sure that, like, if you want to come, there's going to be something for you. Like if you want to take your family to a nice dinner, there's that. If you want to take them to the arcade, there's that. The pool, there's something. If you just want to have a anniversary weekend and have no kids, there's a lot of adults only spaces. Like, so, we try to like make sure there's a spread of everything for them to come and enjoy. And that takes a lot of work. I do think one of our secret points is we have a lot of women on our leadership team, which is kind of different in gaming as a casino industry. And I can always tell when women touch things, like the paint matches a little bit better, like the carpet's not fraying, like there's someone in there going like, no, we gotta switch that out, and sometimes it just takes a female eye, I think, sometimes to really nail those little touches.
Yeah.
And so we've got some really great women on our team across the board that just notice those things.
Yeah.
I was there, I guess it was last year. We did a radio remote there.
Yeah.
And I was just so impressed by everything. And we stayed overnight in one of
Good.
the hotels, and it was nice. It was clean. It was fun.
Yeah.
It felt like I'm sure what you guys are going for. It's like a vacation, but close to home.
Yeah.
You don't have to fly. You don't have to go
Yep.
very far. And you talk about all of the various things that you guys have to offer. When you try to explain that to maybe somebody that's never been, like, how do you even explain? Because there's, bowling, restaurants,
yeah.
concerts.
I just try, like, our marketing team a little behind the curtain. Like, I always just, like, Erica's job's to cast the net. Like, Erica just needs to go cast the net. If we could just get them here. If we could just get them here and get them to experience it, like, they're going to probably tell their friends, right? They're going to tell their friends, like, I did not know it was non-smoking. I did not know they had these things for your families, your kids. And so, like, we're just trying to cast that net to let people know, like, yeah, there is, like, what you think of a tribal gaming casino operation resort, it's probably going to exceed your expectations if you give it a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a great spot for a girls' trip.
Yeah.
To go to Vegas. It's right
I know
here.
my girls always want to go there. My girlfriends always want to go. I'm like, can we just go somewhere else?
Yeah.
And
You're like, that's work.
I'm
for
like, I'll
me."
go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you gamble? Can you gamble?
I can't gamble.
Okay.
I can gamble at like competitors. I
Right.
usually choose not to.
Yeah.
I do like a little slot machine action.
Okay. Like if you go to Vegas, are you gambling?
If I go to Vegas, I'm funny. Like I'm a super extrovert, but when I gamble, I want to be alone.
Yeah.
I want to like have my drink. I don't want to be bothered.
Okay.
I want to just like be zoned in and like hit my bonuses and enjoy. But I don't. It's like the one thing that I don't like doing in a community. I'm
Okay.
like, no, I just want to be alone.
Okay.
So like if I can have like an hour of alone time, like yeah, I'll go hit the machines.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never been a slots girl.
Yeah.
Blackjack.
Most people are table games players, especially here.
is
And
my game.
But I think once you find a game you like, you're
Yeah.
like, oh.
Well, and then there are people that are like
My
they
favorite
love-
game is a cow alien game.
Okay.
And so aliens fall from the sky.
Oh.
Cow aliens fall from the sky when you get bonuses, and like it's
The
a
cow alien
yeah.
slot. I'll have
Yeah.
to look
That
for
sounds
that.
fun.
But that's
It's called
what-
moolah.
But that it's like I feel like I
Moolah?
see or hear about people like hitting on slots
Yeah.
more than anything else because you take out the whole human error factor
Yes,
of the
yeah.
decision making and the thought process.
When you're not playing against somebody, you're playing against
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
So I think for people that like to like use their, brains and like do
Yeah.
math, like yeah, table games is your thing.
yeah, and
That's not
or
me.
you're just stubborn and you think like
I can beat this.
yeah, that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
That's-
We love those
that's a-
people.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Sure you do. Again, invite me out anytime.
Yeah,
right?
We'd love to have you guys out. You can pod
Um,
from there.
Yeah, we would love that. Okay, one last question, just because, like Emily said, you guys do seem like you're everywhere, especially in the sports world. Like, why is that so important to you, I guess, and how have you seen just the impact of sports here in North Texas, like for your brand, for your company, because it's huge, and that's why Em and I, one of the reasons why we love it here, too.
Yeah, it's hard to not love sports when you live here. It's hard to not find something you love about sports when you live in Dallas. And that was really part of our strategy. It's just to say, like, people here love sports, and they don't only love sports. Dallas has this unique opportunity where so many legends have retired here, and they love their legends. They love the people that can go back and they're like, oh man, when I was with my dad and I was in 7th grade, and the Cowboys won, like those are their heroes. And so that's why we also take the strategy of like also partnering with like legendary athletes and sports.
Yeah, the
to
Pudge commercial's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes, yeah, it's hilarious.
Super. I mean, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And Pudge, but yeah, I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah, so like that's kind of why we do the crossover, and we try to just really build authentic relationships, whether it's at the casino or with our partners. Like we want to be the best partner to someone. Like we want to people, like when they say, hey, give me an example of people who do good partnerships. that's what we want to be to people. We want them to raise their hand and be like, well, look at this work they did. Look at this creative idea they had. Look at what they executed and that we partnered with. We really just want to go the next step to be the top A class of partners to our sports partners.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that the Rangers, it's my longtime involvement with them, it's been a huge, asset to our organization. Those partnerships, especially when they were, they were tough for a while.
It was
hard.
Last year was like such a good run to
Yeah.
it actually like made me and my partnership guy like emotional because I remember sitting in a room at a golf course. We didn't have our new headquarters at Choctaw, and we officed out of an old country club golf course, and so we were in just some random room, and they were selling us a dream, and I was like, I think I believe this, and I think I believe all these things are going to happen within 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And like looking back on that now to say like we hit that and we
Yeah.
hit that and we
Right.
did that. Even during like a pandemic and all the things, like we have the Rangers especially are very endeared to us because we have these lateral, they built at the same time we did, they expanded
Yep.
at the same time we did, we're both on this trajectory, and I think so much of it is because we believed in each other.
Yeah.
Like we just really we believed in what the goal and outcome could be.
And regardless of how good the organization was, as far as the people and all that kind of stuff, it's hard when you've got a product on the field that's not so great.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is. I think it, like you said, it makes it all the sweeter for not just those of us who work for the team, but also too for those that are partners with them that
Yeah.
and to be not new to the party, but we've been here and we helped.
Extension
we helped
of the
get
team.
this. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're not always going to have. I mean, I don't care what relationship you're working on. Your marriage. You're not always. You're going to have a lot of bad with the good.
Yeah.
And so you've got to lean in and be good partners, because when the bad things come, it's a lot easier to have those conversations.
Sure.
Like, hey, we dropped the ball, or we messed up, or we're not happy with this. Like, if you're a good partner, they're gonna go 10 steps ahead to make that right.
Yeah.
So
super fun. Well, you have a super cool job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And seem to be balancing it all.
I love-
like you said, the work-life flow. I like
Yeah.
that. I'm going to
Yeah.
start using that. There's no balance.
Balance doesn't exist.
It's just
there's no
flow.
balance.
It's just
you're gonna
flow.
drop a ball and
Yeah.
It's
that whole
funny.
glass ball and plastic ball analogy.
Yes.
Just don't drop the glass balls.
Yeah,
Like the
hold
plastic
on to that
balls.
one.
Yeah.
The plastic
Yeah.
balls can bounce around.
Every mom we've had come on, says the same thing. There's no balance.
No.
There's no balance. It's just existing and surviving. And I think the kids benefit. I think they benefit from our crazy.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
so.
Yeah.
From just coming along for the ride, right? You
Yeah.
learn a lot that way.
I
Absolutely.
always just try to think I hope my daughter sees all the options that there are out there for women, and all the things that you could do and things that you maybe were never exposed to. Maybe you can see that and be like, wow, I never knew that even was a job. Because I always tell her, even when we go to in arenas, I'm like, you see that digital? Someone created that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see that sign? Someone built that. You see
Yeah.
that? Every piece in here, there's a job. You just have to dream it.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
love that.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Because
Think outside the
under the layer, there's a job somewhere for that.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much, Erica, for coming in. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. We hope to see you
Yeah.
at Choctaw soon.
Yes, please come up.
Okay.
Please
Don't
come
you
up.
worry. Don't you worry. So I am so excited to introduce our next guest. You probably have seen our mic flags that are Geico, local office, Victoria Elliott. Well, Victoria Elliott is here today. Not only is she a badass businesswoman, she is also a sorority sister of mine. I've known you for a very, very long time, Victoria. So first of all, thank you for being a sponsor of the Mom Game and supporting us, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. And Julie's gotten to know you too.
We're neighbors, actually. We both just lost power.
Oh, wait, today?
No, last
Oh,
week with
I,
the storms.
like, dang, what happened today? Okay, so I want to talk first of all about, kind of your business and, kind of what you've done. And then I want to take it back to college in a little bit. But tell me your background. You're so involved in the community. I see you doing good things everywhere. Just the whole kind of strategy with Geico, your business in particular, and wanting to be so involved in the community.
Yeah, so I own my own agency. I started about 5 years ago with my own office, but I've worked for Geico for a little over 20 years. So right out of college, I started working at Geico and worked on the corporate side. Learned everything there was to know: sales, service, claims, HR, our internet units. And it's just been an amazing experience. It's a great company, and it's a great company to work for. And I said, you know what? I think I could go out and do this and represent Geico on my own. And so that's what I did. And about 5 years ago, I opened up my own office in November of 2019, which was right before the pandemic. And I remember,
Perfect timing.
yeah, it was great. But I truly believe that it was the biggest blessing. I feel like it taught me how to be a really great business owner, really watch my expenses and learn how to do things in a different way. And I think it prepared me the best to be a business owner. Scary, but
Yeah.
the best, I think, preparation to actually run your own business because you really understand how things work because you
Yeah.
have to watch it every day.
Yeah. So what can your office, your Geico office, do for people? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the market for new insurance. What all can you guys offer to our listeners?
Yeah, so what we actually do homeowners, car insurance, motorcycle insurance, boat insurance, ski doos, lake houses, all of the things that move and all the things that you live in.
Okay.
And that's primarily what we focus on. When I first opened up my office, I think, your first goal is to get going. And I remember we started, like I said, shortly after the pandemic opened up, and that's when it really started to take shape. And I remember thinking to myself, there's a lot of people who need stuff and outside of just insurance, and insurance focuses on like your physical needs, but when you look at your community and you see how they're struggling and what they really need, that's when it really started to say, what things can we do to really ingrain ourselves in our in our local space. And we started with the trash sanitation teams, which is kind of crazy because there was so much trash everywhere. I don't know if anybody remembers, but like there was just trash everywhere.
Yeah.
And I felt like they were working all the time. And it was like, how do we just say thank you to them and start with that? And we kind of grew from there. We started with schools. We looked at foster care units because everything that was just overwhelmed at the time. And looking back on it now, it was just such a fun, I think, rewarding thing to do and to see the people's faces that they actually see them. And it's not just like this massive effort. It's something very small, very local. And it's things that I like and that I wanted to support and that I thought were interesting and that actually needed support in our community. So that's kind of how it started.
So what did you major in college?
Business.
Okay. And so when you when you open, like you said, you open your own office, is it like opening a, a Golden Chick franchise, or is it
Yeah.
how does that work?
So your local Geico office, you're basically, when you open up your own business, it's a captive. So you have the name Geico, but it's your own business. So it is not a franchise by any means. So you get to use the name, but it's your own operations. So you run everything. You run all the logistics, hiring, expenses, everything that you could possibly imagine. And, I will candidly say that nothing in college actually prepares you to do some of this stuff, but not in a bad way. I think the college experience actually helps you to understand people, and it helps you to kind of build a network of people that you can know and support and lean on and go to and ask for questions. Like, I cannot even count how many times the people that I've met in college have now come full circle around, and it's like, hey, can we partner on this? Can we do this? And I feel like that was just a great experience for me to actually just learn how to network in the business world and be around a lot of people who really want the best things for you.
What I guess is like the biggest challenge in owning a business, and you're a mom too, so that presents a whole nother set of challenges. Like all three of us, hustling in here for various reasons, even today. Many of which include kid things.
Yes.
It's gotta be a challenge every day, but it's all worth it.
I think the biggest challenge of, just trying to run a business and be a mom is really finding people that you can trust, because you can't do everything on your own. I'm very lucky and blessed. I have an amazing husband. I've got a great mom. I have a great dad, and an amazing group of friends, a community, and my team. My leadership team at my office is phenomenal. I could not do a lot of that stuff without them. And I think that that's really finding people that you can trust, not just with the business stuff, but like with your family. I mean, my kids are probably the thing I've worked the hardest on. I mean, I worked on them for a good 9 months, and then now here they are. But that's probably the thing that I would say is finding people that I know are reliable. If they're going to say they're going to pick up my kids, I need you to be there and pick up my kids. Or, hey, can you finish out this project? I don't want to be coming up behind you all the time. And I feel like that's the piece of it and learning what they can expect from me too. I think that that's also just a balance and a challenge.
How many employees do you have?
Right now there's 6.
Okay. And I'm the boss of my kids, and basically that's it. Like, I don't think I would be a good boss.
I think you'd be amazing.
No, I think I would be too bossy.
No. No, you'd be a good boss. I think that the one thing is I mean, communicating well. And it's hard, it's hard. It's like, here, I want you to make sure that you understand exactly what I'm looking for. And if you can and can't do it, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me. Like, if you can't do it, that's fine. Just let me know. And I can take it on myself or put something else someplace else. And I think you're good at that. I think you're selling yourself
you're
a little bit
sweet.
short. But
Okay, I do want to talk a little bit about how we met, college, all that kind of stuff. And I'm hopefully you're comfortable discussing this. I think you are. Also during COVID, the whole, the Black Lives Matter and all of that social unrest happened. And I think I reached out to you. Did I reach out to you directly or I texted you? I couldn't remember. Because I just remember, I had conversations with people like Delino DeShields, and we'd be like, check on, like, and Dennis Simmons. I don't know if you remember Dennis. And so it's so awkward. Like, that was such an awkward time for, a white person, to like have those conversations. It's just so weird. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not the best way to describe it. It's weird, to be like, hey, I'm checking on you because you're a Black friend of mine, like, so awkward. But also too, like,
no.
you also don't want to be like, I mean, it's fine, everything's fine. There's no racism. Like, what are you talking about? It's 2020 or whatever. But I remember vividly in college, you went through Rush, and at that time there was no Black women going through Rush at Texas Tech University.
on Greek Circle, yeah.
Yes, on Greek Circle. And so that was whitey land for sure. And I remember when you rushed, and I talked to you during that process, and I was just floored by you. Like, you were amazing, and I was like, this girl is awesome. And so many other people who talked to you said the same thing. And then I remember when we were going through like the voting process, and someone stood up, and I will never forget. And she was like, the Sigma Chi said they weren't going to mix with us if we pledge a black girl. And I was like, did you just say that out loud in front of this entire group of people? Like, what in the actual fuck could you possibly be thinking? And then to say it out loud, it was just like, and then it slapped me in the face. I'm like, good Lord, we got a long way to go. So all that roundabout way of asking you, what was that experience like for you? What do you face as a Black woman now?
I think it's interesting. Either I like people or I don't. Like, either I like you or I don't. You only go into two really big categories. Most of the people go in the I like you category, and then there's the I don't like you category. So I never really try to focus in on that. It's like, do I like you as a person or not?
Yeah.
And I think growing up here in Dallas, I mean, I went to a private school. I was kind of used to being one of the only ones in that space. And so when I was like, okay, I'm going to go to college, I need to make some friends. I don't know anybody. There's only 3 of us that went from my high school. And trying to meet people and trying to find, somebody who I'm like, okay, let's hang out. And I was like, let's go through Rush. And I remember looking around and being like, okay, yep. Here we are. But at the end of the day, I met a lot of amazing people, through the Rush process, through you, and just every house that we went to, everybody was cordial, at least nice, right? And I remember just thinking, like, gosh, if I don't get Kaio, this is not going to be good. Like, this is not going to be good. What have we done here? But, you got to put yourself out there. And I think that sometimes the universe comes around in a way that you probably expect what's best for you. And I think it came around in that particular instance, especially in meeting a lot of the people who are my very best friends. Mm-hmm. And even now, like, I know we talk about this, and for those of you guys who don't know, in our symphony, we talk about Kaio and how she gives a lot to you and you're supposed to give back. And I feel like now I'm in a position where I'm able to do things now that I'm able to give back. And I'm a part of the Chi Omega steering committee and a lot of the things for Chi Omega Market here in Dallas locally. But if I hadn't have put myself out there, I don't know if it would have given me the things that I really needed at the time, which was some good friends, a good support network, and most likely probably a lot of the confidence I needed to get through college. And I'm very candid about that. And it wasn't easy all the time. There were some times where I was like, wow, that you just said that, like that. Yeah. Okay. But you know what? People show you who they are. And I'm thankful for that because it's like, okay, good. Thank you for actually showing me that because now I know.
No,
and I
I
know what
know.
I'm working with and I know what we're dealing with and I know what that looks like.
Yeah. I just thought it just seemed so crazy. Like, I don't know. You were so impressive to me, just the way you handled yourself. And like, I admire you putting yourself out there like that. And it's also, awkward and weird and sad that I have to say that, you know what I mean? Or that I feel like I need to say that, because it's still a problem. There's still, it's still a problem, and people don't want to talk about it because they're like, la 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 la. What do you mean? I love everybody. Like, no, I mean, it's there's something to it.
Well, and I remember when you reached out to me and I was like, that is really awesome. And I actually had a lot of friends who, were kind of in that same boat where it's like, I don't know what to say, but I know I need to say something.
Yep.
And you have to start maybe where you're safe and people that you know. And for me, I appreciated it because it's nice to know that you have people around you that actually just really care about you. And sometimes that speaks volumes in and of itself, I think.
And I can remember having conversations like during that time because the whole Black Lives Matter thing is I still don't understand it. And from what I understand that there's an organization that's maybe not good. I don't know, whatever, regardless. I just remember having conversations with my friends and being like, they're just like, la, 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 la. And I'm like, well, when's the last time you had like a meaningful conversation with one of your Black friends? And they're like, well, I don't really have any Black friends. And it's like, well, then you don't know, you can't possibly imagine or identify if you don't have conversations with people that are different than you. I don't know. It just makes me insane. I could go on about this for a long, long time because I just feel like too many people just bury their head in the sand and don't want to see outside their own little world, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think, honestly, too, at the time, I think it was also just a weird time, too, because people were kind of just focused in on, like, I need to focus in on my family and staying safe and doing what I need to do.
For sure.
And trying to stay in that lane, I think, is tough. We look back on it and it's like, I mean, that was some crazy stuff. You just, everything that went on with all of that. And, like, to be on the other side and to say, okay, what can I do now? What difference can I make now?
Yep.
And what things can I do to make an impact where I am? And I think that requires us to kind of reach out and to find people that A, aren't like us, or B, need somebody. And I think that's where, I even have to push myself sometimes to say, okay, what can I do to make a bigger impact with people that maybe don't think always the same way that I do? And it's an opportunity for me to listen, or is it an opportunity for me to find a space where, you know what, I need to challenge myself to think a little bit differently. And that's not always a comfortable space.
Yeah.
And I'm not always great at it either.
Well,
So.
and it reconnected us because we hadn't talked in a long time, and it did, it reconnected our friendship, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that.
And by the way, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Emily Jones is an amazing dancer. She's you get her a pair of overalls from Jibo's, and she will paint
So
them.
was she dancing all the time in college? Was she
I'm
a party animal?
So we had the skit. It was like you were like we had the party girls and the study girls, the whatever. And as you can imagine, I was part of the party girl crew, and so it was like going back to Cali, wasn't it?
every
It was
time
the
I hear that song.
styling, profiling, advising, realizing, you're sizing
know.
us up. Listen, y'all, the guys call. They say they like the Kayas.
I mean, they're so like I
Was that a
feel
Rush song?
yes.
So
Both of us,
cheesy,
yes.
I mean, it was hilarious.
Rush was it is the cheesiest thing.
Oh,
I was
it's
a
so
Kyo
cringe.
too at
It is
F&B.
so cringy. Like I
X
can't
and
even
orange too.
believe like the shit we did
Oh, I know.
during recruitment. Like that,
It's crazy.
It's so like everybody out by the door, and you're doing the chants,
like-
and it's
You're
so
spraying the
much more
spray,
intense now.
summertime sorbet.
Have you seen the videos now of like
yes.
what the girls are doing and like just the
Like
insane
twerking
outfits
and
they're wearing
It's crazy.
and
I know.
oh my
I know,
gosh.
but
And their
it's like-
dances are like legit.
Yeah, sure. Actually, they're
Because
really
they've
good.
all
Yeah.
like been through professional dance.
Yeah,
classes
we're like,
when they were
oh.
kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I met the best. Yeah, I've met some of the best friends of my life through it. So it's all worth it.
It
But
is.
like when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that is like Velveeta cheese. Like this is
man.
the cheesiest, cringiest shit ever.
And we thought we
But
were
it's-
really something too.
Oh,
like I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
all
Like,
did
have you
that.
seen this?
So
Have
cool.
you seen this?
You've seen these skits?
Yeah.
I mean,
Straight fire.
so embarrassing. Well, Victoria, thank you so much.
Wait, hold on. So I just want to brag on Victoria real quick
Oh,
because I know we
okay.
talked about a lot of it, but she doesn't brag on herself enough. So Victoria is one of the top agents in Texas. She's one of the top in America. And out of all the Geico agents recently, she just won a huge grant that went to the charity of her choice for $15,000.
Oh wow.
Where'd it go? Where'd you put it?
The organization that I picked is called the Coventry, and what they do is they actually work with special needs adults as they've transitioned out of their senior year. So, for graduation for everybody, it's not always, you're going to go off into this new stage of life.
Right.
They're going to go probably trying to figure out what they can do now that they're out of public school and they've aged out of the government and student programs that they have there. So what they do is they actually have, it's an amazing facility. They offer work camps, work camps, that sounds awful. They offer art camps. They do physical modality. They do thinking and also cognitive classes. So basically it's an all hands-on facility that provides support for special needs adults as they transition out of the state government system. So it's amazing.
Wow.
I mean, these volunteers, they do everything. And it's not just like little things here and there. I mean, these are full-on classes to make sure that they don't lose any kind of cognitive thinking skills, that they don't lose any modality, because some of them have cerebral palsy or different things that they really need to move. So they have instructors that come in and do like Zumba and dance classes with them, and it's amazing. And just the most amazing set of volunteers. And when I saw it, it was just one of those things that it spoke to me a lot because, we talk about college and how we met each other, and that was a great time in my life. But for some people, it's like, okay, I have this young
Now
adult. What are we going to do now? And now you really have to, as a parent, really try to figure out how do you transition them from this stage to a different stage, because they're going to be with you for lifelong. So what things and what kind of community do you need?
Yeah.
And I think that that's the biggest thing that spoke to me, is that this is a community for people that really need a big community to help.
Yeah.
Raising kids is not hard. Or sorry, raising
It's
kids.
definitely hard.
To take that back.
Yeah.
Raising kids is very hard, but it's even harder if you don't have a good group of people around you, and
Yeah.
especially for a community that really needs a strong community. How do we support them the best way that we can?
But
so
she
awesome.
won that out of every Geico agent in America for the service she does in her community.
Wow.
And
that's
that
what I was
doesn't
gonna say.
surprise me one single bit.
It sounds like you do a whole lot for the community.
You're a baddie.
That you really,
As Hattie would say,
that
you're a
is super
baddie.
important to you.
You're a baddie.
And we appreciate your support of the mom game.
We do.
No, love you
And,
guys.
we
Y'all
love
are
you.
amazing.
Yeah, and anybody listening, if you have any sort of insurance needs, make sure you go to Victoria because she's an awesome person.
Checker,
And she'll
checker.
take care of you as well.
Okay, as you know, we end every show. Peace signs, mom game out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mom game out.
The Mom Game is proud to partner with local Geico offices, Victoria Elliott, proudly serving your local community.